Well now. Welcome back to Clownfish TV. This is Neon. I am here with Geeky Sparkles.
Hello.
And we're getting our first official look at Kevin Smith's Masters of the Universe Revelation sequel series to the original He-Man series. And there's a little bit of history here with this. Now, we are massive Masters of the Universe and She-Ra fans over here.
You just got Ram Man today.
I did just get Ram Man. The toy. I didn't actually get Ram Man. That would be weird. But yeah, we actually got the toy today. We have a lot of Masters merch and,
I have classic She-Ra all over the place.
Oh, yeah. We know some people who worked on the original shows. So we are big fans. And, of course, the channel kind of blew up when we were critical of Netflix's She-Ra and the Princesses of Power, which, took She-Ra and, turned it into a Tumblr fanfic and flushed a lot of what made She-Ra and also pissed on the original Filmation cast and crew. So yeah, we do like our He-Man. We take our He-Man kind of seriously over here. And about a year or so ago, we had an animation industry insider come to us, and they do, believe it or not. In fact, we're finding this out with Rooster Teeth, that everything that they said.
And this person we trust more so than others.
Yeah, this person we actually know. And this person came to us and said, okay, so I got my hands on this, one of the scripts for Kevin Smith's He-Man, and I don't know if people are going to be happy. And I'm like, what do you mean? And they're like, well, from what I'm seeing, it sounds like they're going to sideline He-Man in the first episode or two, and it's basically going to be all about Teela and a woman that winds up kind of being her girlfriend. And it's basically going to be the Teela show using He-Man as a lead-in. And I'm like, that's ridiculous. Why would they do it? And it's like, oh, wait, no, this is 2020. So yeah, we know exactly why they do this. So we put a tweet out. We did not do a video.
No.
We didn't do a video on it because we couldn't verify. Actually, this insider came to us and said, I can give you the script. I'm like, oh, that's kind of illegal.
So we said no.
Said no.
But
put a tweet out and said, we're hearing some things. God, I hope this isn't true because it's not going to go over.
We want it to be good.
Yeah, we want it to be good. We actually did a previous video. We said we want it to be good. And we know Powerhouse Animation's working on it.
I mean, the art looks great.
Yeah, the art looks great.
The fact they made Teela look like it made her look.
Yeah.
One other rant I'm going to get into shortly.
We'll talk about this. This might be a mixed bag here. It might be a well-polished turd, or it could be something surprisingly good. So we put the tweet out, and for some reason, Kevin Smith decided that he was going to debunk these rumors that the show was not about Teela. And that nothing we true was,
and he went way too far, which made it look, even people were like, wow, he's getting awfully upset for something that isn't true.
It was a little weird. And this is coming from Kevin Smith, who often reports on rumors on his own podcast.
And is wrong all the time.
And is often wrong. But, whatever. I mean, look, nerds talk about it, so whatever. And we didn't even do a video. It wasn't even worth, again, it was like.
We didn't have enough. We trusted the source, but we didn't think, we would wait until we got more information before we would put it out there as a video, because that we would do our due diligence in some way before we go even further. And then Kevin Smith lost his shit.
Kevin Smith lost his shit and said, look, I could have used these story suggestions before we locked the script. No, He-Man does no stepping aside, and Teela has no girlfriend on her show.
When they presented the pitch at was it San Diego Comic-Con?
Yeah, they talked about Teela's
journey.
And
they talked about it being about Teela. They even said in the write-up that it was Teela is like front and center. It kind of, confirmed what they had already said.
Right. So this led to Kevin Smith publicly smacking us down. This led to many blogs
we smacked him down many times.
that don't like us very much to begin with, running with the story and being like, look, Kevin Smith said it wasn't true.
Well, then one of them also ran with the rumors they heard, and then said, oh, look, it is true about Teela, remember? And then we said about it, and then like, oh, retraction, that's not what happened. I remember, and I'm like, how come they weren't, called out and tarred and feathered? But, even though it's funny because we don't really give a shit what Kevin Smith says.
I don't really care. I mean, we did a video just like a week ago because they were talking about the comic book coming out, and we said that we hope the show is good. And even if the rumor is true, the overall rumor is true that, He-Man's going to be sidelined for a good portion of the show and it's going to be mostly about Teela, that doesn't mean it's necessarily going to be a bad show.
It's going to mean a lot of people tune out.
It does mean a lot of people are going to tune out.
If you want a show, it's about people want He-Man back. They don't want to watch the Teela show. They want to watch Teela with Adam and He-Man, like we got with 2002 He-Man. The Masters of the Universe. That's what they want. That one still made some people mad, but people were more accepting of that. Now it sounds like, and again, we don't know, but from the art we're seeing, it looks like, because I know Sorceress is supposed to be taking over for Sorceress. Well, there's pictures of Sorceress in it, so I think that's the very first episode.
Yeah.
And this is what we're getting April. But afterwards, I want to point out a couple things. One, why the hell does Teela look like that?
Oh, we know why she
Teela
does.
was known, even when they made the toy. They even said when you see the history of that the girls loved Teela. So that's why they kind of did She-Ra, was because girls loved Teela so much. And, because she was, she had the really cool long hair, and she was pretty, and she kicked ass. And even in the 2002 version, we got kick-ass Teela. It looked like Teela. Now we got this. It looks like she should belong to the Princess of the Power show. I'm tired of this. I'm tired. I don't understand why I can't have characters that look like me. Like, what's wrong with me, Hollywood? Besides the fact that, so I do get a ginger character, and you basically made her a dude. There's no boobs. Her arms are bigger than what boobs she probably have. Her hair is the stupid half-shaved haircut. Most women don't have the stupid half-shaved haircut.
I have, outside of like Portland or LA, I haven't seen too many women.
I've seen like two.
Yeah. I mean, I've seen there's some edgy people working at stores, maybe, whatever, but it's like, yeah, look.
Stop with this.
The boob armor, that's a problem for people. We put her in a t-shirt and pants, khakis, and shaved her head.
Basically, okay, take the head off and you got a dude.
Yes.
Take the head off, you got a dude. So there's Teela, and then we have next to her, is it Andra? I think it's Andra. No, I think that's how you pronounce it. She was in the comics before, so she is canon. However, she was white, but she's now been race bent, because of course she has. So they have her, and those are that. Now they were friends in the comic. Well, now they're probably gonna be more than friends.
Well, we'll talk about this, because there's an article on Entertainment Weekly, and I got, again, can't prove it, and I want to reiterate, we hope the show is good.
At least Evil-Lyn, who looks like the Legend of Korra again.
She does.
She looks like the fucking Legend of Korra. Sorry for swearing. She at least has boobs. At least she has boobs. And she looks like she's a ripoff from the Legend of Korra. And then Orko. What the hell's up with Orko? Why does Orko has like long fingernails and girly eyes?
Does he have boobs? Does he have boobs?
What? I mean, look down here, guys. What's up with Orko?
Yeah.
What is up with this?
We'll talk about it. So before we get into it any further, too late.
Oh, buckle up and get the popcorn.
Please subscribe for more pop culture news, views, and rants, guys. We're over 188,000 subs. We do talk about the animation industry. We talk a lot about 80s pop culture, being an 80s and 90s kids that we are. And, Masters of the Universe is one of our favorite things here. You should see the studio decked out in Masters.
I'm just mad about Teela because I'm so tired of being told there's something wrong with me. Hollywood's like, you have to be accepting of people, and people are different than you. But now every other character looks like this, even though most women don't look like that. Stop going unrealistic standards for women.
So before we get into it any further, I want to give a hat tip to Tokustar. Speaking of He-Man stuff, Tokustar, who's decorated like half of our studio with some really awesome Masters of the Universe stuff, was the first one to give us a heads up on this. And also Dr. Animus, who said it looks like you guys might have been right on the money. Again, we don't know exactly what's going on.
Right, and it might be, but I mean, no matter what, I'm still mad about what you did to Teela.
Yeah, and
what the flip is that?
Kevin Smith went out of his way to make sure that we were discredited.
Well, you're gonna look really stupid, Kevin Smith, when it turns out we're right.
We are. So I'm 95% sure we're right. Again, we got the bird's eye view. We could have had a script if we wanted it. Said no, that's probably illegal. We're not going to do that. We speculated they put this big spread in Entertainment Weekly.
Which they also did with She-Ra, by the way.
Yes, they
did. Same PR people.
Yeah.
Focused on Kevin Smith, like they did with Noelle Stevenson.
And if I had to speculate, if the show goes the way that we were told it goes, then what's going to happen is we're going to have classic Masters of the Universe for the first episode. Something bad is going to happen to He-Man. He's going to be sidelined, and it's going to have to be Teela and a ragtag
well,
bunch
it said in the write-up that Teela was going to have to figure out the secret to put it back together.
Yeah.
It was in the damn write-up. They put it PowerCon or San Diego, where they put it up at. First of all, I want to point out, the art is good. I mean,
it's powerhouse animation.
Minus the fact that Teela looks like shit.
Yeah.
The art is good. I'm not going to say it's not. The art, going by the art alone, I'd be like, yes, this looks amazing. Woohoo, yeah. It doesn't look like Princess of the Power. Thank the Lord. The art looks great.
Yeah.
So there's nothing I can say about those people. I mean, other than the character design, Teela looks like balls, and probably has balls too. But this one here, the art isn't bad.
Yeah, so I mean, Powerhouse Animation, I can't fault them for. I mean, they do amazing work.
I agree.
They did Castlevania.
Their work's great.
When I heard about them doing this, I was like, okay, this is going to be pretty badass. And if this is what, we knew it was going to be 13 or 26 episodes of this, He-Man riding freaking badass Battle Cat and kicking all kinds of ass.
With a penis behind him. Look at the thing. It looks like a balls with a penis.
Well, it's because he's,
right behind him.
I'd be totally on board with this,
But look here, they're saying it's for the fans of the 80s cartoon. They keep saying that. It's for the fans of the 80s cartoon. If it's like Princesses of Power, it was not for fans of the 80s cartoon.
No.
And I might be like, they might lead in with like, okay, here's what you want. But that's not what you're going to keep because it's 2021 and you're not allowed to be fans of the 80s cartoon because that's misogynistic. And you clearly are a racist, sexist, istophobe if you love the 80s cartoons. We got to make sure we make the changes that are necessary for 2021.
Yeah, and look, I wondered when they said they were going to do new He-Man because I'm like, I know to some people He-Man and G.I. Joe are the two most problematic, air quotes here, problematic 80s franchises because they were hyper-masculine. Even though the G.I. Joe team included a lot of women who were pretty kick-ass, including Scarlet, but they're doing a new G.I. Joe live-action show, but they're going to focus on, I think it's Lady J. They're going to focus on
instead of Scarlet.
Yeah, and what they're going to do with He-Man. Yeah, they're going to sideline He-Man, and I think this is all coming from the first episode. Just a guess.
From what we've been told, yeah. And it looks beautiful. I'm not going to say
art's awesome.
The animation studio did bad because they I guarantee they're going to do a fantastic job. It's not on them. So we got He-Man and Skeletor, which is what we want. Look, He-Man and Skeletor looking kick-ass. They said that it's going to be split into 2 parts, with the 5 episodes of part 1 premiering in July 23rd. And then I don't know when the other parts are coming, but they're talking about how the mythos is going to remain intact. Prince Adam, the son of the ruling family of Eternia, uses a sort of power to turn into chiseled He-Man, which of course he is because they said it's going to take right up where the show left off. But they said we get to see them engage not just in clashing swords, but in far deeper conversations than we've ever seen before. God.
Maybe, Teela, you shouldn't fix that sword because he's going to use it to just wave his masculinity all over Eternia, and we can't have that.
It's just not simply like these two dudes have been trying to beat each other up for decades.
Oh my God.
We get to tell stories of abuse.
What?
We get to kind of tell stories of isolation and grief. We use these characters as long as they've been around, and most people consider them toys or action figures, to tell insanely human stories set in a very inhuman world. We're gonna lecture you with morals and...
Oh, God, that's code word for yes. Oh, my God. Okay. This is going to be exactly what we thought it was going to be. Shit.
Sorceress.
Damn it, Kevin Smith.
And then there's Skeletor. I never did. And there's Skeletor. And then they're talking about they're going to bring it across different landscapes because they know the comics, too, leading into it. We crafted this love letter for the fans who watched the original show as kids and are now adults. Okay, so that doesn't mean Revelation is on the same level as something like Amazon's blood-spattered superhero show Invincible, which he loves. But it does mean that the writer's room, consisting of Mark Murderdin, Eric Carrasco,
bunch of people. Most of them
got to raise the stakes in a way you wouldn't normally do. Which I agree with this, because this part I like. Characters could die. Not saying they will, but they could. Because this is one thing that I love that's completely different than we got with Princesses of Power. And we've mentioned this many times in our videos.
Yeah.
Smith talked to the director, Netflix director of original series, Ted, how do you say his name? Biaselli?
Biaselli?
I don't know.
Yeah.
Anyway, he grew up loving He-Man. Okay. So he said to Kevin Smith, do me a favor. When I used to watch the show as a kid, I legitimately thought that He-Man was always on the verge of getting killed by Skeletor. I believed in the stakes. Let me believe in that again. I agree with that. How many times have we mentioned that with Princesses of Power?
That was one of the biggest complaints. Beyond the fact that they turned it into something it wasn't, just because they could, because Tumblr got control of the property. But, there were no consequences. Like, Catra was a genocidal bitch, accomplice to horrible, evil things.
She was a better character than she was in the original.
She was more fleshed out. The original, she was basically just a ripoff of Catwoman. She could turn into a cat.
Right.
But,
they did make a better character than Catra. Yeah. I'll give them that. But... you didn't feel like all you're waiting for was when the next party was going to start, when the next pillow fight was going to break out.
Oh my God, it's genocide! But let's have birthday cake.
Or when someone's going to say best friend squad.
Oh my God! Oh my God!
You didn't actually feel like,
there were any stakes at all. It was just a slumber
and we
party.
talked about that many times.
Yeah,
so it was interesting to me that this is what the guy from Netflix said.
I think that the guy
after we said it many times.
I think he sat down and looked at it because again, this is DreamWorks produced this, right? He's probably like, "Hey, cool, we're getting She-Ra back. What the fuck is this?"
Yeah, I know, but you don't have to say anything because if you did, because basically I'm going to tell you what it's a flavor of the year on what they're focusing on. And back then it was women and lesbians. I'm just going to say it flat out because I'm not wrong about that. And so you couldn't say anything because if you did, you're misogynist, sexist, whatever.
Don't talk down to it. Don't make fun of it. The original He-Man. Don't wink. Just treat it like Shakespeare. Princesses of Power made fun of the original.
They said that was homage. No, it wasn't.
No, it wasn't. They were mocking the original. They were mocking the outfits. And we saw it, firsthand. This is why we slammed the shit out of this show. We saw people who worked on the show constantly dumping on Filmation, the original voice actors, the crew that worked on it. And then they tried to spin this lie that She-Ra was now diverse because it hadn't been before, when anybody who knows anything about Filmation knows that Filmation was a very diverse group of people.
They're completely diverse, light-skinned women's writers' room.
Yeah.
Because they were all women and lesbians. A lot of them were lesbians, so that was okay. And I don't care if people get mad at me for saying it because it's the truth. I just can say it now because we're on to other flavors.
We moved on to other flavors. Yes.
So they said, I like this too. People would see this as a goofy IP, but it's a rich tapestry, a world full of characters. It is. So we have more art. It looks pretty good.
Okay, proper Teela.
Yeah, we got proper Teela here. I mean,
Teela.
Why are we changing her? Like, she looks, that looks like Teela. I mean,
we made sure we covered the boobs up though because they're problematic. But
you could have still given her outfit look more like this than what they're giving her.
Yeah, she doesn't even look like Teela. If you told me that was Teela, I'd be like, bullshit.
That's Teela.
Bullshit. That's not Teela.
I mean, they could have at least kept her headgear or something so she looked like Teela. They didn't. The first episode is going to be in lockstep with the old show. Then about halfway through, things take a shift, which allows the characters to go through these periods of growth.
Yeah, okay. So period of growth is we go from this.
That's when her balls drop, her penis grows, and her boobs shrink.
That's when Teela, yes. She has the power. She lifts the mighty sword and turns into a dude, I guess. I don't know. The pair keep any further specifics about what that cataclysm is under lock and key. Smith goes on to explain that only certain people know the secret that Prince Adam is really He-Man. We want to raise the stakes that people might die. Holy shit. They wouldn't kill off Adam halfway through the show, would they? Like, oh, it's Prince Adam. Let's go kill him.
Well, they do that. They're colossally dumb and they get whatever shit they get.
And that's going to be the cliffhanger. Like, we freaking killed. Oh, then we need a new He-Man.
No, I don't know if they'll go that far. I don't know if they'd be dumb enough to do that.
She'll bring him back from the dead.
They won't go that far, I don't think, because they know they'll get their ass handed to them. There's no way.
Yeah, so part one felt like a really great act. So this, look.
What made me worried was this comment. It's a story about a hero who has to live under deception in order to protect those he loves. But it's about how the deception rots at the core.
Oh, God, no.
They're going to make him like evil or something because now he's bad.
Oh, no. He's got toxic masculinity, and the toxic masculinity has poisoned He-Man. And he's going to turn on his friends, and he thinks he's the hero. He-Man thinks he's the hero. But he's gonna bitch slap Skeletor and take over.
I don't know.
Because of toxic masculinity.
But it goes on.
God, don't do this.
Is releasing the episode in 2 parts. Part 1 felt like a really great act break. He said, you get onto it and you're like, oh man, this is just dramatic. The game has changed.
Can't you just give us a He-Man show with He-Man and Skeletor beating the shit out of each other with some good individual stories? Do you have?
No.
I mean, again, we don't know what this show is actually going to be like, right? But all indications seem to be that this show is exactly what our insider told us it was going to be, that He-Man is going to get sidelined, and it's going to be the Teela show. Teela is going to save the day.
And with her girlfriend. Whether that means friend or friend.
Or the ship bait.
It wasn't done. And then the characters at the beginning of Revelation are going to be very different than they will be at the end, he adds.
Obviously.
So, I talk about him listening to the music for the first time. And
he cried over it.
Yeah. They talk about how Mark Hamill came back because he said it was Skeletor, which I'm excited about that. They do have some good people coming in for voice acting. Phil Lamar, and stuff like that.
Which is interesting.
So I'm like, I have no problem with the people they're picking for voice actors. I think there's some good voice actors here, people that would do a good job.
So Hero, I wonder, because Hero in the classics was actually a precursor to He-Man.
Oh my God, read the last paragraph. Just read it. I can't. Read it out loud. I can't do it.
Oh my God.
I can't do it. You just read it.
For David, becoming the best version of yourself has always been at the heart of He-Man, and it's true now of Revelation. We wanted to reiterate, but make it even more broad. He says, it's not just He-Man that has something special inside him, but every character and every viewer, we all have the power.
So it's exactly what we said it was.
Fuck! Fucking fuck! This show's gonna be exactly what we thought it was. Mm-hmm. Shit! I just want to see... I give up. Just leave the 80s alone. Just leave it alone. Leave it all alone.
No, because even if they wanted to do a show that new people wanted to see, they're not going to be allowed to do the show people want to see because of mandates.
Yeah.
It's not going to go the way you think. If it turns out to go the way it seems like it's going to go, the way that they keep leading that it's going to go, it's not going to go over well. And then what's going to happen is, because Teela's going to be the main character with her now non-white girlfriend, friend, whatever, it's going to be you're racist, misogynist, sexist, even though they would argue. I love how these journals and blogs have been arguing for years. Well, we couldn't do He-Man because it's mostly male fans. And then it's going to go from, well, there was a lot of female fans and you male fans are keeping the female fans down. Yes. I'm a female fan of She-Ra and He-Man. I hate the way what you did to Teela. I absolutely hate it. I'm not going to lie and tell you I like it. I don't. I'm a redhead. I have blue eyes. This is not my representation. Thank you. I'm tired of all the strong female leads having to look like this. Wonder what the flip's up with Orko.
I don't know.
I think it's gonna be Orca. I mean,
I don't know, because like look, they have the action figures now. They put the different head on Evil-Lyn now. Apparently, she does have white hair. This is canon, and I think pretty much every iteration that she has white hair. I know in the 2002 series she had she had like her head shaved or whatever. But yeah, like Legend of Korra, and you're not seeing a Teela figure. Not yet, because they'd be mad. They got Moss Man, He-Man, Skeletor, and Korra. Look, the character designs for He-Man, Skeletor, and Moss Man look great. The animation... Nobody's faulting that. Nobody's faulting this. And I can't fault the voice actors, but I'm like, this is going to be a well-polished, verbose backhand slap to the fans. Just a guess. Again, we will not know until we see it. Skeletor wants you to get in touch with your feelings, because that's what Skeletor's always been about. Being in touch with... Well, he did get a puppy. He got a puppy. I was just thinking, why doesn't he come with his puppy? Does he get another puppy in this show, too? I don't know. Maybe the puppy's grown up and they call it Battle Bitch. Skeletor and Battle Bitch. Oh Battle Bitch. Oh. Sick balls. We have to, that implies that. No, that's Teela. I was going to say Teela's Battle Bitch now. No. They're going to say Teela has the balls. I can't even. And the toys. Here's the thing about the toys. I like the toys. And since they're going for an older audience with this one, whoa, Skelegod. That's actually flipping awesome. Since they're going with what's up with this cod piece? That's where his face belongs. It probably talks to him. There are a lot of guys whose penis talks to them. Your balls are huge today, Skeletor. It's time to take over Eternia. It's the same dog, like the voice you give our dog. Fuck the planet. Battle bitch, ho! No. Sorry. Wait. I'm not that funny. I don't know why you keep laughing at me. I know that was funny. Anyway. The toys. They are gearing the toys at older audiences because the show is geared at older audiences. So it might work out for them. I know part of the problem with the 2002 He-Man was the toys were geared for older audiences and they weren't very good for kids. We ran the same thing with like Monster High for little girls. Like the parts, like when you change out hands and stuff like that with pegs, they break off pretty easy and they aren't exactly made to be played with. Don't even make jokes about they aren't made to be played with by children. One thing I love about the origins, besides the fact that it's based on the classic stuff that people know and love, is the fact that they're done in such a way that they're made to be played with more so than toys like this. These are clearly going to be with 30 points of articulation
for adults, which is fine because in this show they're making it very clear it's for the adults. So I have no problem with that. I just know that the origins are out there. You can get the counterparts and the origin figures for your kids. What is that? Is that his dreads?
No, that I think these are tentacles. Where do they attach? Oh, it's his hand. It's his hand.
Oh,
it's his hand.
Okay.
Look out for Moss Man in his battle.
So now we got tentacles in this. Okay, that actually made it better. Somehow. Oh, yeah, it's his hand. Okay.
Whoa.
That just made it better.
How adult is this show going to get?
I don't know.
I will tell you, I am happy that they're using characters that did not get much screen time in the original show. Mossman, Roboto. I think Stinkor is going to be in this one.
I'm upset they don't smell.
Yeah.
I think people are going to be upset that they don't actually smell like the woods and skunk.
Well, you can make anything smell like the woods and skunk.
That's true, but
we could go get an air freshener and just rub them down with it, and
that won't last. I've tried something like that before. Anyway, there she has the white hair, but at least she's got So when you have an evil character, they can look like the female version of themselves.
Yeah. Battlecat's pretty badass.
Oh, he does look kind of like without the head thing on. Yeah, I like that. I really do like that.
I never understood that. I mean, beyond the fact that He-Man and Adam looked virtually identical. Okay, I never understood why. It's like, how many people actually own talking green tigers on Eternia? Like, wow, that guy looks almost exactly, it looks like Adam with a tan and his shirt off, and he's also got a talking green tiger. What a coincidence.
I mean, that's one thing I did like about 2002, and also that they're doing that in this show, is that you can tell Adam is completely different than He-Man, which I think is a very good thing to do. She-Ra, it was just basically, Adora got taller and long hair, and suddenly she had boobs. That was about it.
She had boobs or lost her boobs? I think she lost
she lost her.
She had a boob line, kind of. That was...
Yeah, she lost her boobs. You're right. She didn't have boobs either way. Yeah, because that's bad. Being a woman, unless you're evil, then you're allowed to have... Because only evil women have tits.
Well, we had to cover up Roboto, too, because we couldn't have his nakedness. It's offensive.
Well, he's probably bigger boobs than Teela. She'd be jealous.
I know, right? He's got bigger tits. Tits with little gears on them. His nipples are gears.
Okay.
That grinds my gears, Roboto.
Okay, they can't see what you're doing right now, but I can't. So let's not do that. Anyway.
Crank it up to 11.
Okay. God, I feel so sad now. I mean, even though you're making me laugh, I want to cry.
This is Hollywood 20. It doesn't matter.
I wanted it to be good so bad, even though he was saying what he was saying, and he said, okay, it's not that. I was like, okay, we'll take him at his word. It's not that. Him. I mean, why would he go so far? Because if it turns out that is that, he's going to look really stupid.
This is a guy who cries on cue. I don't think he cares about looking stupid.
And I'm sorry, but this is what it looks like, and I'm praying that, it still could turn out not being that way. But by the way Teela looks, I'm like, why would you make her look like that? Usually that's the look you give the girl that's going to have a girlfriend.
Ship bait right here. Even if they don't wind up hooking up.
No, this is ship bait. Yeah, exactly.
Yep.
And then you have Korra dressed like Korra because there's like the audience we want likes Korra. So they can ship characters like Korra. And then I don't know what's up with Orko. Orko looks totally femme. I am not happy right now. Especially about Teela. I'm like crushed as a redhead blue eyes who loved Teela.
It's probably gonna be. We did not have specific details. We just had the bird's eye view, which is He-Man gets sidelined, and it's going to be the Teela show.
Basically, they confirmed with the way that if you read between the lines.
That's basically what.
And the last paragraph, if nothing else told you.
Yeah. Yeah. And we want everybody to be special, not just He-Man.
But everybody's special, no one is.
Oh my God, are they going to blow up the power sword and give everybody in Eternia their own power and have a theme song like She-Ra, and they're like this giant sparkles and fireworks and rainbows shoot out of the sword, and it's everybody's got a little bit of power now. We're all equal. Can't have that toxic man, that blonde-haired, blue-eyed man telling us what to do, saving the day, because that's a problem. Solve your own shit. Well, I agree with solve your own shit.
I mean, I don't even know what to say.
There's no point in rebooting the 80s, 90s at all anymore. Guys, stop it, because it's dead. We can never go back.
For the fans of the old show. No, you're not. You're doing it to leverage it for money. If you were caring about the fans of the old show, you'd get the He-Man, Skeletor, the old show type things. You wouldn't be getting this. I mean, that would work. I mean, I have no problem with the Skelegod.
Well, this is that looks like the He-Man. He got the power sword. That's what happened. You got the power sword. So yeah, they probably kill Adam. Uh-oh. And then Skeletor takes the sword. Which is actually...
Or you think Adam's dead, but he's not. It's going to go all like Black Panther-ish.
I don't know.
I don't
know. It's going to be what's going to be, right?
I'm sorry, that cod piece. It lights up green like him. It's like his Orko or something. Okay. I'm going to go now, cry now, and hope to God that this is going to be completely wrong, and this is going to turn out in some miracle to not be this. But everything points to that we were told correctly.
Yep. I mean, we'll still probably watch it.
If it sucks, I'm turning it off.
Our expectations have dropped off a fucking cliff at this point, though.
And it's sad because the art looks good.
It does look good.
If you could just have a good story with the good art and not make Teela look like they made her look, if she even, I'd even wanted to get a chance to Teela look like Teela. The fact they made it look like that right off the bat, I know where it's going and I don't want to watch it.
It's coded. It's coded for hyper woke. That's what I mean. Anytime you see shaved head women and with the boobs cut and very well covered with the shaved head, that is code word for super woke.
And even if it isn't, the shippers are going to be so toxic and make it as soon as you see two women that are friends, well, that means that they're together and they're going to make sure of it no matter come hell or high water. Because this is going to be a ship war, and immediately you're going to be, right now, guaranteed, anybody calling this out on Twitter is already going to be called, not probably so much as Princesses of Power, but you're going to already start getting called names.
Yep. Oh, yeah.
You're just misogynist, and you're sexist, and you're against strong female characters. I want to know why these women are so against strong female characters that don't look like that.
All right, so we're gonna wrap this up.
Yeah, I'm gonna cry in a corner.
Yeah, well, that's okay. Go get you've got some shearers you can brush their hair.
Yeah.
Because Teela doesn't have any hair to brush anymore.
No.
So. All right. Please subscribe for more pop culture news, views, and rants, guys. We'll talk later.
Bye.